Hello, my name is Simon Godwin and I'm the Artistic Director of the Shakespeare Theatre Company here in Washington, DC. I am taking this moment to share with you our 35th anniversary season, which is going to be an amazing array of adventures, experiences, shows, and Shakespeare. Well, our season begins with an unprecedented theatrical event, continuing the tradition the theatre have always had of hosting world-class theatre. Think of 1984, think of Black Watch, think of Miss Julie. We're going to open our year with The Jungle. Now, The Jungle tells the story of people travelling from around Europe and the Middle East to a camp in Calais in order to try and find a way of crossing over the Channel into Great Britain to begin a new life. It's a story based on the true stories of those people that travelled to that camp, and in some cases it's even performed by people who are actually in the camp. Now, we're not doing The Jungle alone. In the spirit of partnership, which is going to define many of the productions this year, we are doing this extraordinary event in partnership with the Woolly Mammoth Theatre Company, a theatre company many of you will know, famous for their pioneering and remarkable new work in Washington over many decades. Well, it's the first time we've ever worked together, and we're going to be together transforming the Sydney Harmon Hall into the original camp that was there in Calais. It's a chance to understand the true life stories of people willing to risk their lives for a new world. In the election year, hosting a show of this magnitude, of this importance, feels crucial. And I'm really proud that Shakespeare Theatre Company are hosting and presenting a piece of work with implications for the whole world. Well, it's been nearly a decade since Shakespeare Theatre Company have produced The Merchant of Venice, one of Shakespeare's most extraordinary, dazzling, surprising and challenging works, with of course that remarkable character at its centre, Shylock. Again, this is a play in an election year and is Shakespeare's very strong investigation of race, money, responsibility and the law. And in a city which is so concerned with so many of those things and which prides itself on being the centre of justice as well as politics, it seemed to me a remarkable opportunity to go back and present this play once again to you through the light of today. In a city addicted to politics, a city run by politics, a city which is political 365 days of the year, what better than the ultimate political musical, which is Evita? Evita is also a Shakespearean choice because at the centre of it is this remarkable protagonist, Evita Peron. For me, the musical is incredibly emotional, impactful, but it has a lot to say right now about the rise of the right and political gestures around the world and through history with which we can understand better our own moment in time. So it's a big, generous, crowd-pleasing event that also has political edge. And bringing those things together feels crucial to our mission here at the Shakespeare Theatre Company. I'm very excited to be featuring a great writer of the American canon in our 35th anniversary season, and that is Lorraine Hansberry. Yes, we do Shakespeare here, but we also do other writers of greatness, of which I believe Lorraine Hansberry to be one. We're also committed to not just doing the plays that you know, but the plays that I think you should know. And in that regard, we're not presenting Lorraine's most famous work, which is A Raisin in the Sun, but another remarkable piece of theatre which you've probably never seen, called Les Blancs. This is a play that Lorraine left unfinished, and in an extraordinary act of dramaturgical love, her husband continued her work on the play and brought it to a place where it could be presented. Now, I first came upon this title at the National Theatre where I used to work, when it was directed by a director who's had tremendous success here in Washington, Yael Farber. I've managed to persuade Yael to come to Washington and to present a new version of a production that moved me so much in London. It's about colonialism. It's a story packed with event, drama and heart. And of course, you'll remember Yael's work from Salome and from Miss Julie. Salome, of course, that was such a success that it transferred to London, where it played at the National Theatre. She's truly an artist of world stature, and I'm so proud to be presenting her work to you as part of this season. In the spring, I'm going to be directing Shakespeare's joyous comedy, As You Like It. I've never directed it before. I've seen it, I've loved it, I've been lifted by the central story, which of course is Rosalind trying to woo Orlando. How does she do it? Well, by dressing up as a man. It's a classic Shakespearean ploy that sometimes people become most themselves when they wear a mask. Masks, gender swapping, disguises, all set within the Forest of Arden, this remarkable, almost fairy tale environment where miracles and love can happen. I'm really excited to be making this show for you here in Washington, for you, our audiences. It's going to be quirky, it's going to be irreverent, it's going to be audacious, and it's going to be full of love. She Stoops to Conquer first appeared in 1773, and it's still going strong. It's still sparkling, it's still funny, it's still surprising, it's still joyous. She Stoops to Conquer is going to be directed by my beloved colleague Alan Paul, who has achieved such acclaim and success over the last 10 years in Washington, directing all sorts of plays, including musicals and comedies. Alan is going to be directing a period-based production, so it's yes to the frocks, it's yes to the wigs, in a way that the Shakespeare Theatre Company does best. I think better than any other theatre in America, maybe even the world. We had a wonderful experience with Peter Pan and Wendy, our first ever show for families. We're going to be continuing this new tradition in the season to come, but I can't quite reveal yet what our title is going to be. It's going to be outside of our subscription package, but I'm going to be releasing news of that title very soon, and it's a show I think you'll love as much as I do. So truly this year, it is putting all the world on stage. We're travelling across space and time to bring you the most enchanting, moving, and heartbreaking stories that we can. Thank you for being part of our remarkable community, and thank you for making our work possible by your faith, loyalty, and excitement.